Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new YouTube video, guys. In today's video, we are going to be ranking all 22 Star Wars Battlefront 2 characters from the worst to best, guys. This is going to be a ton of fun. Like I said, all of this is all my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinions down below in the comments below. I'm excited for this video. I've been grinding Battlefront 2 out recently, and I think it's finally time to sit down and tell you guys who my least favorite character is and who my favorite character is. I should also get out of the way, I don't think any character in this game is bad. There's just some I use a lot more than others, so the ones I have at the lower on my list are the ones I rarely throw on and just aren't really all that great. I'm basing all of this off the final update, meaning all of them have been, finalized. They're all, you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm very excited for today's video. Like I said, let me know your guys' list down below. You don't have to necessarily put all 22. Let me know who your least favorite hero is and your favorite hero down below in the comments. It doesn't have to be your main, because my main character, he's not number one on the list, so that is a spoiler alert right there, because there are some heroes that I think are just slightly better than others. But like I said, I just have a blast playing any hero I can get. I'll throw them on, I'll be happy, but how I'm ranking these is based on how strong they are and just overall how fun they are to use. So without further ado, let's dive straight into today's video. Coming in at the unfortunate number 22, there has to be someone in last. We're going to give it to BB9E. I couldn't tell you the last time I used this character. Actually, I can, is when I was recording gameplay. But other than that, I rarely throw him on. Look, I like his abilities. His abilities are very good, but I'm not that good with BB9E. So I just rarely ever throw him on. But he's a fine character. You know what I'm saying? He's not terrible. He's not a terrible character. Someone just had to be last, and there's no way I could put BB9E over any other character in this game. I was going to put number 21 last place, but I just couldn't put BB9E over any other character in this game. So I'm not necessarily hating on BB9E. I just rarely ever throw him on. I genuinely don't think he's that strong either. He's a baller droid. He's cool. Sometimes I like to throw him on just to roll around, but then you have a bunch of sweats just coming in and killing you anyway. So there's not a lot going on for BB9E. That is why he falls at number 22 on this list. Coming in at number 21, unfortunately, we're going to give it to Lando. I think he is the weakest blaster character in the game, and it's a shame. I really, really, really like Lando. But the one thing I just cannot stand about Lando is his thermal gun. I feel like it is just so hard to aim with Lando's blaster in this game. And because of that, I find myself rarely ever using Lando in this game. I like Lando. I'll throw him on for fun sometimes. Just for the fun of it, I'll throw him on and I'll be satisfied. But if I die with him, I'll just toss on a character that I really, really dig. It's unfortunate Lando falls here, because he didn't get the same treatment any other character in this game got. I just feel like they just completely ignored Lando. I like his abilities. I like his one-shot ability. It is overpowered. I like it a lot. But like I said, you got to cool down, so you can't use it continuously. Obviously, you can't do that. Otherwise, it'd be a bit overpowered, and he would probably be much higher on this list. Like I said, it is genuinely a shame he is this low. I don't hate any character, like I said at the beginning, so I don't hate Lando. So if you love Lando in this game, no hate to you. Play Lando. He is a lot of fun, and he is pretty strong if you can use his one-shot ability, and his smoke grenade can throw enemies off. So he has abilities that work in situations. But there are some situations where if you have Lando on, you're going to lose. Lando can't win every situation, and it's a shame, because when I first picked up this game, I thought I was going to be using Lando a lot, and then I used him, and he wasn't all that great. Now, obviously, that was towards the beginning of this game's run, And now that we are now at the end of the game's run, he is a lot better than what he was at the very beginning when this game first came out. But unfortunately, he did not get any of the same treatment any other character in this game got. And I feel bad about that. Obviously, he's not a real character, but I really, really wanted to like Lando, and I really didn't want him to have to put him at 21, but there was no way I could put him above any other character besides BB-9E in this game mode, or in this game. I like Lando. I just don't find myself using him a lot, and I just really cannot stand his thermal blaster. Alright, coming in at number 20, we're going to give it to Bossk. I really like Bossk. But the only problem is, and this is going to be a very controversial opinion, I am aware that I'm not a fan of his abilities. I think his abilities are quite weak, and every time I used them, they never really helped out in the fights. He is also my lowest ranked character. I rarely ever use him, but I will give him props. His blaster is sick. I like when you aim in, it can like build up and it can one-shot an enemy. That was super overpowered, and that was a lot of fun to mess around and play with. So I was dropping a lot of kills with Bossk. But my only problem with Bossk is, like I said, those abilities, they make him weak. And that is going to be a very controversial opinion, and I'm ready to hear them in the comments. Alright, but I just don't like his abilities, and I was quite disappointed by his abilities. I think Bossk is just a fun character to mess around with. I know there's people out there that main Bossk, so if you main Bossk, don't take any offense to this. But Bossk is a rather disappointing character. I rarely ever use him. I think when I do use him, every time I die, like I said with Lando, I'll use him, but then when I die, I'll switch into another character that is much better. I think his combat is great because of the one-shot you can do on the blaster, and you can drop a lot of kills with it. Other than that, his blaster, if you don't do the one-shot kill, for me, I just felt like it didn't do all that much damage unless you're doing the one-shot kills. At the end of the day, Bossk is a rather disappointing character in Battlefront 2, and if you love Bossk and you use Bossk, by all means, ignore everything I just said about Bossk. Like I said, it's all personal preference, but at the end of the day, Bossk is not one I'm going to pick up all that much. Coming in at number 19, we are going to give it to Phasma. I know a lot of people probably disagree with me putting Phasma over Bossk, but I actually really enjoyed Phasma. I think her blaster is very good. For me, I found it better not to ADS with it, because when I didn't ADS with it, I was dropping like 20 kills with her. And then when I did ADS, I was still dropping tons of kills, but I wasn't getting as much, so I kind of prefer not aiming down when you're using Phasma's blaster, but that's just me. I love her abilities. I like her staff ability in particular. I think it's very good. I think she's just a good hero, and her being at 19, she's not necessarily too low on the list, but she's also not too high on the list. I thought 19 was perfect. I was in a debate whether or not I wanted to put Phasma over Bossk, or if I wanted to put Bossk over Phasma, but at the end of the day, I just landed on putting Phasma just a tad bit higher than Bossk. I feel like a lot of people will agree with me, but I also know that there's a lot of people that really enjoy Bossk, but there's also a lot of people that really enjoy Phasma, and I thought Phasma was just super good. She's easy. It's a lot easier to drop kills with Phasma than it was with Bossk or Lando, in my opinion. She's the third weakest blaster character in the game, but she's definitely not the weakest blaster character in the game, and we're not even going to get to the highest blaster character in the game until later on in this very long video. But for me, Phasma, she's just kind of for a casual player as myself, because I don't consider myself to be this professional player, I would say that she is great for casual players, and she's just kind of an average character if you're a casual player. For me, that means she's a decent character that I will pick up a couple of times, and I can go ahead and drop a couple of kills, and it'd just be super easy. Her abilities are really good, I feel. Overall, she's just an average character. She's not the best character in the game, but she's absolutely nowhere near the worst character in this game. I have a lot of fun when I pick up Phasma, mess around with her blaster. Like I said, I loved her blaster when you didn't aim down sights, but even when you do aim down sights, it's still a good blaster. Like, her blaster is just an average blaster. It's good She gets the job done. If you're trying to grind out kills, Phasma might not be that bad of a character to toss on. She gets the job done. She's a good hero. I really dig Phasma. I think she's slightly underrated. I don't see a lot of people use her. So that is why, for me, Phasma is right there at 19, because she's just good. Coming in at 18, we are going to give it to Aiden Versio. You got to give Aiden credits. I don't have a lot to say about her, so this is going to be fairly quick. You got to give her credits. She's the main campaign player, meaning if you've played the campaign and beat it like I have, you spent a lot of time with Aiden, meaning you are super used to her blaster. And I will say, if there's like a big like group of like people and you use Aiden's blaster, you're probably going to kill like 98% of those players that are in that. Like, I love her blaster, and I think 18 was a perfect spot for her. It's not too high, not too low. I think 18 is a great spot. I like Aiden, but I think she's just a good character. She's just strong. She's a strong character. She'll get the job done, and if she's the only character available, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be too happy. Like I said, I don't have a lot to say about Aiden, where she's just at 18. I figure like that would just be a very good spot at the end of the day when it comes to Aiden Versio. Coming in at number 17, we're going to give it to Finn. Like I said with Aiden, I don't have a lot to say about Finn. Finn is just a good character. His blaster is not overly powerful. His blaster is just kind of like Phasma. It's good for average players, but I can see if you're like a competitive player, Finn might not be the best character for you. But if you're just an average player, like myself, he's just a good character to pick up once in a while. Use him, get a couple of kills, and then maybe switch your character out. He's good in HVV as well. I've seen a lot of people use him in HVV, and he absolutely shreds in that too. Finn is just a decent player. I feel like he's way too overhated. I actually really enjoy when I pick up Finn. I always kind of feel satisfied when I wear Finn. I think Finn, his abilities are there. His abilities are very good. He also kind of has a one-shot thing, kind of like Bosk does, but I think it's a little bit more powerful. I think Finn is just a very powerful, not that powerful, but he's just a powerful character that I really do enjoy. All right, coming in at number 16, we're going to give it to Rey. There has to be a lightsaber character in last place. And then, unfortunately, goes to Rey. Not that I think she's a bad character or anything. I think she's very, very, very good. But for me, I feel like she's the only balanced lightsaber character in the game. So because of that, I don't have a lot to say. I think her abilities are very, very cool. They're very, very good. But like I said, Rey, I feel like is the only like balanced, like a pro player could use Rey, a casual player could use Rey, anyone can use Rey. She doesn't take that much skill. She's very easy to use. I don't have a lot to say about Rey. There had to be a lightsaber character in last place, and then unfortunately had to go to Rey for me. I think she's, like I said, very good. She's the only balanced lightsaber character in the game, but I'm not going to put her above like any other lightsaber character in the game. I think she's very good, but she's just the most balanced player. Not that I'm complaining, because me, myself, am a casual player, so. Coming in at number 15, we're going to give it to Chewbacca. I was debating whether or not to put Chewie over Rey, but at the end of the day, I was like, I'm just going to put Chewie over Rey. Here's why. I just want to say something real quick. I think Chewie's blaster is extremely underwhelming, but that is not why he's this high on the list. If this ranking was based on people's weapons, Chewie would most likely be last because his crossbow is very underwhelming. But I am putting him right here solely because of his abilities. I love his charge rush, kind of like what Han has. That's very good. I like his electric grenades. That's very good. But that crossbow ability is like rapid fire. If that was just the actual crossbow right there, Chewie would be higher up on this list. I love Chewie's abilities. I think they treated his abilities very, very good. But he still falls under the fact that his crossbow is just not very good. It's very hard to land any shots. I feel like if you're a casual player, Chewie is just very hard to even get used to. That's why Chewie's here, but I do think because of his abilities, I think he's just slightly better than Rey. Not by much, just like very ever so slightly better than Rey, but so that's why he's at 15. So 15 and 16 were very hard to rank. So I didn't know where to put them, but I inevitably ended putting Chewie over Rey. So yeah. Coming in at number 14, we're going to give it to BB-8. Not a lot to say about BB-8, but I really, really like BB-8. He's the better of the baller droids. We had BB-9E at last place, and we're going to put BB-8 just kind of right in the middle of the list. I really like his abilities. I like his wire abilities. You can rank kills out. There's nothing wrong with this character. I do tend to throw him on here and then. I really like BB-8. Not a lot to say about BB-8, why I have him here. I just like his abilities, and I think he's genuinely just very strong of a baller droid. I really like playing BB-8. He's just so fun to mess around and play around with him, and you know, you can drop a lot of good kills with BB-8, and I really like BB-8, so that's why he's at 14. Like I said, not a lot to say about BB-8, but there you guys go. Coming in number 13, we're gonna give it to Leia. I really dig Leia. I love her blaster. I love her abilities. Everything about Leia is actually very, very, very good. She's definitely not the weakest blaster character. And in my opinion, she is one of the strongest. She's our second to last blaster character on this list. She's easily one of the strongest blaster characters in this entire game. I really love her charge, when you can charge up the blaster and you can shoot at enemies. That's very fun to use. Just everything about Leia is just very fun to use. She is just a fun character to throw on. I really like using Leia. I really dig Leia's abilities. I like her blaster ability as well. It gives you kind of more of a rapid fire option for the blaster, and that is just incredibly overpowered. I was getting kills like left and right with her abilities. Leia's just so fun to mess around with. She's just so fun to use. She's for any kind of player in this game. She's not that hard to get used to. Her blaster is balanced. She's just she's very easy to use. Like, you don't have to be very skillful when you use Leia. Maybe the charge blaster, you might need to be a little skilled with the aiming with it, but if you can get the hang of that, Leia is just a great character to toss on. I know people frown on the blaster characters, but guys, sometimes they can save the day and they can get you out of any heavy situations that you're in. I really like Leia. That's why she's 13. Not too high, but definitely not too low at all. Coming in number 12, we're going to give it to Yoda. Yoda is a very, very good hero. Definitely one of the stronger lightsaber characters. He might be the second lowest lightsaber character on this list, but don't get me wrong, he's very good. I don't have a lot to say about Yoda as a character. He's just very good. His hit marker might be the most overpowered in this game. Like, if you're going up against Yoda and you try killing him, it's very hard. His hit marker is, well, obviously, he's the smallest person ever. His hit marker, let alone, is why he's so high up on this list. He's just so hard to kill, and if you do get killed as Yoda, I mean, you just gotta, at this rate, accept defeat. I got killed when I play as Yoda, and I just accept defeat. But there are times where I've killed Yoda, and I just feel so good because he's just so impossible to kill. I swear, you have to be a very good shot with your blaster in order to even land a good kill on Yoda. Coming in number 11, we're going to give it to Grievous. Now, I know, hang on, I know he is one of the most loved characters in this game. He is incredibly overpowered, but he does fall under the category where there are times where I won't throw him on at all. Not that I hate him, I feel like he's just very hard to get used to, but I'm putting him at 11 because he is incredibly overpowered. I really wanted him to make it to the top 10, but I just couldn't put myself to putting him in the top 10. I just couldn't do it. Grievous's spider ability is very good. His max ability, where you can have the 4 lightsabers out, that absolutely shreds. Everything about Grievous is great, but the only reason why I couldn't fit him in the top 10 is I just like all these other characters just a little more than Grievous. I like Grievous. I really, really do. And I'm sorry if you're a Grievous main and you're triggered that he didn't even make top 10 nor top 5. I'm sorry. I had to put him at 11. There was no way I couldn't. I think he's incredibly overpowered. I think he's incredibly great to use. He is so fun to use. I really like everything Grievous can do. I really like everything Grievous can pull off. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's a top 10 character, and that might be very controversial, but hey, I'm all here for it. Coming in at our number 10 spot, we're finally at the top 10. We're giving it to Kylo Ren. I love Kylo so much. I'll throw him on here and there, and I will have a freaking blast playing Kylo Ren. I think Kylo's abilities are very good. I like his pull ability. You can pull enemies towards you, and you can get a quick swing with the saber. It's very good. It's very cool. I really like everything Kylo has going for him. I think he's just such a good character to use. I don't use him much, but when I do use him, I still have an absolute blast. I mean, I'll pick him up frequently, but he's not my main. He's just such a fun character to use. His abilities, I love his saber. I've always loved Kylo Saber. He's just a great character, and he just made our top 10, so I'm happy with that. Coming in at number 9, we're going to give it to Boba Fett, or Boba Fett. I like saying Boba Fett a lot, so if I accidentally say Boba Fett, excuse me. Coming in at number 9, we're going to give it to Boba Fett. I really like Boba Fett. The only like tad problem I have with Boba Fett is sometimes when I want to aim my blaster, I accidentally click the jetpack button, and that throws me off. Other than that, I have no problem with Boba Fett whatsoever. Flying around with his jetpack is the greatest thing ever. You can really make a quick getaway when it comes to using Boba Fett. Because of that, I like it. I like his rocket abilities. I think that is very good. Boba Fett is just a great character, but he takes a lot of skill to use, so I don't really ever use him because I'm a casual player. I'm not a pro player, and anyway, he just takes a lot of skill to use. He takes a lot of getting used to, but when you can get used to him and you can use that blaster, oh, it is game over. I have seen incredible Boba Fett's, but he made number 9 on our list. Coming in number 8, we're going to give it to Emperor Palpatine. I really like Palps so freaking much. His Electricity ability is so good in this game. You know, if you're playing co-op and you're going against a bunch of bots, I understand they're bots, I understand that point, but you can rack up like just 20 to almost 40 kills, just let alone using Palpatine. He is so good that you don't really even need to use his abilities to still shred with Palpatine. Yes, his abilities are also very good, but there are times where I don't even touch his abilities because you can absolutely shred with his electricity ability. He rarely takes any skill. Even if you're like just becoming new to the game and you throw Palpatine on, you're racking up a bunch of kills. He is so easy to use and he is so incredibly overpowered. It's not even funny. A lot of people hate him. I love Palpatine. Just because he doesn't have a lightsaber blaster does not mean he's not a good character. He had to be top 10. There was no way I could not have gave Palpatine a top 10 spot. I thought 8 was just a perfect spot because I needed to put Palp's top 10. It just had to happen. I just really like everything Palpatine has going for him, and he can really help with any situation that you are stuck in. Coming in number 7, we are giving it to Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love Obi-Wan. I really, 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 really love Obi-Wan. We're at the point where all the rest of these rankings were very hard to do because I didn't know where exactly I wanted Obi-Wan. I just knew he had to be in top 10, but unfortunately, he didn't quite make it to top 5. I really like everything Obi-Wan has going for him. He's just such a fun character to use. He is my main Jedi character. If that, like, he's the Jedi I main the most. So this is my main Jedi. He's just so good. He's just so fun to use. He's just a really good character. His abilities also rock. He's just a very strong character, and I think that it would be criminal not to even put him in the top 10. He is a top 10 character in this game easily. There's no way I could not have put Obi-Wan in our top 10 spot, in the top 10 spot. I really like everything Obi-Wan's got going for him. He's just an incredible, incredible character. Coming up just shy from our top 5, we're giving number 6 to Anakin Skywalker. I love Annie so much, but I've said that about every single character in this game because I do. So it does hurt not to put Anakin in the top 5, but there's a reason for this. I think he is just incredibly overpowered, but I suck with him. That is the only reason why I didn't want to put him in top 5, is because I'm not very good with Anakin. Other than that, he is just an incredible, incredible character. I love his force push so much. All of his attacks are incredible. He is just so smooth to use. He's very balanced. I really like when Anakin's got going for himself, and you can really help yourself to any situation you're in with Anakin, and you can go ahead and you can get that job done, whatever that job that you need to do is with Anakin. He's a great player to use. I really love using Anakin. I'll throw him on from time to time. Not my most used Jedi, Obi-Wan is, but Anakin is still such a fun character to use, and I've been using him a lot more lately. We have finally made it to the top 5, but coming in at number 5, we got to give it to Solo. I know if you go up against a Han Solo, and it's a very good Han Solo, it's going to get annoying with them doing the barrel rolls, just blasting at you nonstop. But we all can't look away from the truth. When I say Han Solo is one of the most overpowered characters in this game, and he is the most overpowered blaster character in the game, period. I love using Han. I just hate going up against a Han because they do their little rolls. His grenade is overpowered. Obviously, his shoulder rush is like what he's most famous for. His shoulder rush is incredible. You know, even his blaster ability is also very good. Everything that Han has just makes him an incredible and amazing character to use. He's just so gosh darn annoying to fight. I cannot stress that enough. But the only reason why he's in the top 5 is not only is he my favorite character, but he is just so incredibly overpowered in this game. He's like the non-balanced blaster character, so if you pick him up, you're going to have a lot of fun, but the people on the opposing team will definitely not have fun at all. Coming in at number 4, we got to give it to Darth Maul. I've been using Maul so much lately simply because of a bunch of challenges. I'm still trying to get that 5,000 kills to get the old master style. I'm also trying to get 1,500 kills with Maul to get his Kenobi emote. There's just a lot of things I got to do with Maul, and I love this guy so much. Obviously, the only character in the game that has the double-bladed saber, so you feel royalty when you use Maul. I think he's the 3rd strongest villain in the game. His lightsaber throw is great. His force choke is great. His spin move, I love to death, and if you're like stuck out of the objective, sometimes you can just use the spin move just to get straight back into the objective. There's so many things you can do with Maul that you can't do with like any other character in this game. I was so tempted to put him in the top 3, but I couldn't do it. I just could not. I love Maul though so freaking much. He is so overpowered in this game. I wouldn't even say he's balanced either. I kind of feel like if you're a casual player going up against a very skilled Maul, you're not going to have the bestest time trying to kill him. But I have a lot of fun playing and messing around when it comes to Darth Maul. So I lost all my gameplay footage for the rest of these 3 characters, so you'll be seeing this screen. Sorry about that. But coming in at number 3, we're going to give it to Luke Skywalker. I really, really, really love Luke. He is just such an incredible character. He had to make the top 3. I was considering not putting him in top 3 and putting him 4. But we cannot avoid the fact that when he had the best comeback in this game's history. We can't avoid the fact that when this game came out, he was one of the worst characters in this game. His stamina sucked. He had the average health. But after a lot of updates, my boy finally got the top 3 spot in this game. I love Luke. I love everything Luke has going for him. He can get you out of any tough situation. I really like everything Luke's got going on. That's why he's top 3. He's just incredibly overpowered. He's my favorite Jedi in this entire game. I really, 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 really love Luke. Coming in at number 2, we're giving it to Count Dooku. He is my main character in the entire game. I know his level doesn't say much. That's because I'm often on the grind of this game, and I'm hoping to get all of these characters to the highest level possible, but Dooku is just so fun to use. I love his lightning stun. His exposed weakness is very, very dope, and I mean, it's very helpful, especially if you can upgrade all this stuff to the absolute max. You are chilling. I love Dooku, but he doesn't make it number one because I don't think he's the most overpowered character in this game. He gets me out of a lot of tough situations. I can drop like 40 kills with Dooku. There's been times where I've placed number one just for using Dooku. I love everything Dooku does. I love everything Dooku is going for him. I really, really, really just love Dooku so freaking much. He is just so ridiculously overpowered in this game. But obviously, coming in number one, you gotta give it to Vader. I mean, did you think I really was not about to just give number one to Vader? You have to. He is the most overpowered character, not just in the movies, but in this freaking game. I like how you can force choke, and then you can do a lightsaber throw, and to finish the enemy off, you can just whack him once with a saber. 3 easy moves for a villain, or for a character to be done. He is so overpowered, you don't even need to use his focused rage ability. All you need is that lightsaber throw and force choke, and it is over for the character you're going up against. Seriously, Vader is absolutely incredible. I don't use him a lot, just because I feel like he's not balanced. I'm super happy he's not balanced, because if he was balanced, he probably would be number 2 on this list. But Vader is the best character in all of Battlefront 2. I don't think anyone is going to disagree with me on this list. Vader had to be one. There was no way I could put another character over Vader. He is just such an incredible and such a fun character. And that will do it for today's YouTube video. This has been a pain to edit. It's been a pain to film, but it has been a lot of fun. This is a very long video. This is coming out a lot later than I thought it was, but this video was very hard to make, but very fun. But that is the ranking of all 22 characters in this game. If you guys want me to do another video where I rank all the classes from the worst to best, I will 1000% do that for you guys. Without further ado, we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.